Hi, everyone, and welcome back to WTCA-TV, coming to you today live from the 54th Annual WTCA Global Business Forum here in Bengaluru, India. I'm Barb Mitchell, your host, and I am joined by Brian Oglesby, who's come all the way from Philadelphia to join us here in India.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization.
My name is Brian Oglesby. I'm the president and CEO of the Eastern Minority Supplier Development Council. We're one of 23 regional minority supplier development councils in the United States that covers the entirety of the United States and part of a larger global network of supplier diversity councils, inclusive of the UK, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and China. So we cover the entire globe in terms of our efforts to secure diverse supply chains, utilizing diverse suppliers as diversity is defined in whatever region we're working in. I'm headquartered in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I also serve as the Global Diversity Supplier Alliance chair for the World Trade Center of Greater Philadelphia, and hence my presence here today.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about more about your presence here. Actually, it's a long way to come, as we said, and so why was it important for you to attend this year's Global Business Forum?
Well, we will always try to demonstrate the value of a diverse supply chain. And what
Yeah.
better place to come than here, India, which
Right.
is a rich place and a rich cultural place of diversity,
Right.
and demonstrate that not only is a diverse supply chain the right thing to do intrinsically, but it's also a very profitable means of doing business.
Yeah.
And the more diverse your supply chain is, the greater the innovation, the greater the competition, the better pricing for people who are buyers.
Yeah.
And when we have global things that impact the supply chain, a broader supply chain is not as disrupted, and a more diverse supply chain is
Right.
not as disrupted by geopolitical events
Yes.
or
Right. Yeah.
pandemics and things of that nature.
Yeah. Provides more continuity and security.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And coming to a place like this allows us to kind of coalesce our efforts with a global audience
Yeah.
and making sure we create that connective tissue that we can take around the world and create opportunities for anyone, anywhere as this world progressively gets smaller.
Mm-hmm. Wise words. I was so when you have been in the over the course of the week and some of the conversations you've been having, have you been able to tell us some of the highlights in terms of the conversations?
I think there's such a high level of energy here at this conference in terms of wanting to see what the world has to offer.
Right.
I mean, what better place in the World Trade Center to discuss that? But I think the level of energy and enthusiasm and a growing understanding of how we're so interconnected in terms of business and understanding that most of the world doesn't live where you are,
Right.
and most of
Yeah.
the world's economy doesn't exist where you live.
Right.
I fortunately live in a wealthy country like the United States, but even still, the vast majority of the world's wealth and population doesn't live there, and the business opportunities are abound. And being able to be intersectional and international and creating collaborations between diverse businesses that need collaboration to grow and develop and become level set competitors in the marketplace is an opportunity that's abound here. And that level of enthusiasm comes through in every conversation that I have.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you hope that people take away from them? If there were just a few things that they could know about I don't know, you and your organization or Philadelphia or the opportunity.
Philadelphia, I believe, is uniquely positioned to be a epicenter of global commerce. We're neatly positioned between New York and Washington, D.C. So there's no other place in the world that's neatly affixed between the financial capital of the world and the political capital of the world, de facto. And it becomes a place that by cost, by the diversity of industries, by the depth of the knowledge and resources that are available there, the infrastructure is unique even for the United States. It's a heavy rail space, which is very unique in the United States in comparison to most of the country. We're celebrating our semi-sesquicentennial, which is our 250th anniversary. As most people know, the United States was founded and the Declaration of Independence was signed there. We're hosting several games in the World Cup. We're hosting our National League All-Star game in our sport, baseball, and so many other things that are happening simultaneously in the next coming 2 years. Philadelphia has become a hub of business and opportunity, and the EMSDC is in a position where we become a conduit to global commerce for companies without regard to size. And we're Philadelphia. We're about being the underdog and punching above our weight, and we compete very well on a global scale. We have the ability to take the smallest business and turn them into a global conglomerate.
Yeah.
And create the connections where we can get offshore very quickly. We have the relationships. We have sister cities. We have an incredible Department of Commerce and infrastructure, and we comprise opportunities in 3 states that are interconnected with the largest economic regions in the country, and in some cases the world.
So when you think about that, just thinking about the opportunities that exist in Philadelphia and how coming here and taking some of the insights maybe that you have acquired during the time being here to the benefit of your local community, I'm curious. Do you feel like the topics and trends that are coming up with this global audience are the same?
Yeah, I think the problems become, to my earlier point about the world being a smaller place,
Yeah.
the concept and themes that are being discussed here are becoming very, very universal and very, very interconnected. And I think our president, Thomas Young, has a unique understanding of how that impacts our regional economy and how Greater Philadelphia can engage itself in such a way where we're better connected with our World Trade Centers and better connected with our global partners and getting opportunities on the ground and bringing people to our area to see how we generate growth. And we're beginning to all speak the same language. Instead of migrating away from the Tower of Babel, we're actually walking toward it and having a unified voice in terms of growing economies collectively together while understanding the individual nuances of the countries where we do business and engage.
Yeah. So, final thoughts about just an overall impression of your time here. I know we were saying we're at the tail end of this show. It's hard to believe it's gone by so quickly, but your impressions?
It's incredible that we can come to a place such as Bangalore, India, and see a unique and rich and ancient culture. I come from the United States, where I just mentioned our country's 250 years old, and that pales in comparison to the epochs that exist here, and
Right.
and the layers of culture and the intersectionality of all the cultures create this common stream of idealism about opportunity and how do we can engage people and have that same language. And I think coming into this type of space illustrates how much we can accomplish when we work together and understand how we can benefit one another in terms of developing opportunities. And this conference has demonstrated that the level of connectivity that we have is unique and broad, has a lot of depth and a lot more opportunity out there because we're barely scratching the surface of what we can do.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. Any final words?
Yay, Bangalore. Thank you very
Yay,
much for a
Bangalore.
great host, very hospitable place, and couldn't be happier to be here.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
All
And
right.
I know there's so much going on, but the fact that you were able to take a few minutes to chat with us and our audience, we
It was
really appreciate
my
it.
pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. And thank you to our viewers for tuning in to WTCA Live here today in Bengaluru. Until next time.